Welcome back, everybody. As we're back again, I'm Kevin Justice. It's Wes Track. This is our new podcast. Talk about funny moments, memorable moments, a little bit of everything. We started off our first episode. We kind of introduced ourselves, and you guys can go see that on YouTube, Spotify here real soon, and we're actually going to try to get Instagram done too. We're having a little problems with that, but you guys will be able to see it on all them platforms. Again, our YouTube channel is Down in the Holler is actually the name of it, and you'll see a picture of a long driveway with grass and trees. You can't miss it. And today we're just going to be talking about more funny moments of our childhood from now until then and everything. So I'm gonna go ahead and let Wes kick off some questions for me, and then I'm gonna kick him off some back. So.
All right, so we're gonna start off with some. What are some good times that you remember from back in the day?
Some good times. So, well, I remember a good time. He's probably 8, 9 years old. Back then, even now, I'm sure there's a lot out there. I don't need to be scared to admit it. I'm a big wrestling fan. Been my whole life. And we had a big basement. Our basement was huge, okay? Like, it was the biggest basement you could think of we had as kids. So we'd come down as wrestlers and stuff. And I think that was a lot of good times, man, because we bonded a lot doing that too, man. We got fucked up. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. We got fucked up. I mean, it wasn't no script shit. We was putting people through tables and breaking chairs and all kinds of dumb shit. I mean, we got fucked up. But I mean, we had fun, and we bought Walmart. I remember I took my money I made with my dad, and actually here, if someone actually wants to see it here in my next podcast, I'll bring it on podcast. I actually still have the champion that I won from him 20 years ago, and I still have it. Actually, it's a spinner. I don't know if you guys remember. It's the one that John Cena made. The WWE was a spinner. That's the one I have, and I bought that helping my dad with cars. That's no lie. And I bought that, and first night lost it, and then second night redeemed it. But it's that's probably one of my favorite moments of just going down there with all my buddies and having a blast, man. So,
You gonna ask me something?
what would you say is one of your back then, man? What's a good funny moment, man?
All right, I'll say a good funny moment. It was shitty for me, but funny when I look back on it. You had that neighbor, fucking Dave, the dumbass, looked like a fucking ferret.
Yeah.
All of his kids look like him too. They're all a bunch of bitches too. He didn't like me for whatever reason. I don't know if it was because he would try to come over and tell me what to do, and I just tell him to go fuck himself as a 10-year-old, telling obviously an adult to go fuck himself because he just needed to mind his own business. He would sit over on the other side of his fence, bitch at us as we're playing baseball in the back because we hit a ball into his yard and his fucking dog ate it, so we couldn't get it back. So then we had to use rocks, and we kept hitting it into his yard because he was a dickhead. And then one time he had one of his, I think it was his nephew or whatever, told him that I said a whole bunch of shit about him and his old lady, which I didn't know who the fuck this guy was. So we're all at the corner skating.
I was there.
Yeah. We all used to ride skateboards and everything. It was me, Bruce, and another friend that we got named Mason. We'll talk about him later. So we were all sitting there skating, and this dude coming down the street, and then just decides to just fucking punch me from behind. Obviously, it drops me. I didn't see it fucking coming. So after that, and the guy, mind you, I was 12 years old. This guy was like 16, 17,
maybe
years
older.
old. Yeah, maybe older. Punched me. I fell. Then obviously at that point, I already knew I was fucked. So I just, covered up. He tried to kick me in my back and shit like that and tried to punch me in my face. But after that, two of my buddies that were there that had, stuff that they could have defended me with, like skateboards, or they could have just, just stopped it. They both took the fuck off, and was yelling, Weston's getting jumped, blah, blah, blah. And then I think it was your Uncle Clem, right?
Yeah,
he came out like he was going to do something.
He came out the house, and actually, I was the one that ran after the dude.
Yeah, so Kevin chased him all the way up the street. The guy got in his car, and then Kevin kicked the fuck out of the back of this dude's station wagon.
I did. I busted his bumper all to pieces.
Yeah, so that was pretty shitty for me, but funny if you look back at it, because you had people my age running, and you had Kevin like 4 or 5 years older.
Yeah, they're all older than me.
Yeah, so, 4 or 5 years younger than us, running after him, trying to whoop his ass.
Yeah, that was actually a crazy moment, but it just gives a show. Don't be a bitch. But it's yeah, that was a crazy moment, man. I look back on that, man. I'd give anything if I was actually there. I mean, like, don't get me wrong, the dude probably could have stopped my ass. I mean, dude, he had 15 years on me, but the point is, I was always, is go out with your heart, not with your head. So I see one of my buddies getting jumped, and I actually didn't see it, but I just heard Wes was getting jumped. And then as I'm coming out the door, I see a dude running down the street and him laying on the ground. So I'm thinking that had to have been the dude. And Wes said it was. So thank God I didn't kick some random person's car. And I ran up on him and, dented the shit out of his bumper. But, yeah, I mean, that was a crazy moment. But you look back on it, I wouldn't call it funny, man. But I mean, it was a little crazy. So, man, if you could change, I mean, I'm going to ask you a serious question here, Wes. I mean, if you could change anything from now until then, man, I mean, like from where you are now to where we was then, I mean, what would it be, man?
I think the main thing I would have changed was my choice in women. I don't know how to pick them. Apparently all the crazy ones come towards me. So the main thing, if I could have changed, was one, I wouldn't have got married. And two, I love my kids and all that, but I also would have, at least my oldest, not had her with my ex-wife. Because I gotta live with her every day. I can't stand to look at her for 5 minutes without,
Yeah, I get what you. And then we got into detail, and if you guys go back to the last episode, you'll see why he's saying this right now.
Yeah, no, but I think, definitely just my choice in women, because now with dealing with her, I got to pay $400 a month child support. I don't make a ton of money, so that kind of sucks. So I think that would probably be my biggest regret, was going against everybody's advice, getting married to this woman, and ultimately just fucking me over.
Right. Right.
So that'd probably be the one thing I would change. Everything else, I mean, I probably wouldn't have changed anything. Like childhood wise, growing up, I had a good mom. My dad wasn't around, but it is what it is. But my mom, she was always been there since day one. There's times that we didn't have, hot water and all that stuff, and barely any money for food, but she still figured it out.
Right.
Figured a way for us. So that's about it.
Well, I mean, that's a lot of true statements here. As he was saying about family, I actually was one of the luckier ones. I have a beautiful wife. We've been together this year, maybe 9 years. I got 2 little beautiful girls, 4 and 5 years old. So I'm one of the lucky ones. I've never had no problems. Like I said, a lot of people don't come straight out of high school and still stick together. Proven fact. I mean, it's just stuff goes wrong in life, but you got to know how to fight through it. Some people, their best way is separating or not being around each other. But me and my old lady actually stuck it through. And like I said, we got 9 years invested in each other. So hope nothing will happen. But if it does, it does. Kind of one of the things you say, leave it in God's hands. And that's kind of what we do. Love my daughters to death. 2 beautiful baby girls. Wouldn't change it for the world. Yes, I had them young. I had my first daughter at 18. My second daughter at 19. And I was young, but I wouldn't change it for the world. I'm growing up with them, and that means the world to me. So,
all right. So for you, what would be one good moment and one bad moment?
Okay, so one good moment. We're talking any good moment, just any.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, one good moment would probably be me actually meet my wife. It's probably one of the best moments of my life. We met in I actually knew this is a funny thing. I'm going to go into a little detail. I actually went to school with her in fourth grade, and I knew her in class and actually had a crush on her. So the funny thing is I never asked her, and I didn't get with her until the ninth grade. So I knew her back then and didn't think in a million years she'd give me a time of day, but I was wrong. And that's one of my good moments. One of my bad moments would probably be, man, I really don't have a bad moment in my life, to be honest with you. I mean, everything that happens for a reason. I couldn't really tell you. I mean, everything that I've ever asked for or anything like that, God's always answered. I mean, wasn't spoiled as a kid. My dad did the best he can. He was a working man, workaholic, still is, 51 years old, not worked any young boy I know of. He's a workaholic. My mom was always there. She was a stay-at-home mom, always had dinner on the table and everything. So I never really had bad moments, man. I just always stuck through it and got by. I really could not, honestly, truthfully, I cannot. Probably, you know what, bad moment, I guess. I mean, if we're talking about bad moments, I was coming down the hill on my bike and I hit a rock, and dumbass brother sitting there watching me, and hit a rock, man, and went to go smile. I got them two things sideways. And that's probably a bad moment, I guess, man. But not too horrible. We're kids, so.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so now I kind of want to have each of us, kind of introduce our family, just so, people can get to know someone at a more personal level. So I'll start off with that. My family, I have 3 kids. I have Aubrey, Cleo, and Weston Jr. Aubrey's 7, Cleo's 5, and Weston Jr. is 4, or about to turn 4, sorry. So they've been like the 3 biggest blessings of my life that I've had so far. Probably really one of the few things that's gone right, at least for me. So I just, do everything I do today for them, just so they have somebody positive to look up to, so their future is secure. I mean, that's really all there is to it. That's my main focus. Right now I'm in a situation where I wish I could see him every day.
Right.
But, unfortunately, my most recent relationship ended. So, I'm not going to say too much about that. It is what it is. Yeah. I'm just going to move on. But, so those are probably my 3 main reasons for doing what I do on a daily basis, or do reasons why I try to accomplish what I try to accomplish, which seems to be like everything. I think really all I need to do now is be a cop, and I've done it all.
You ain't lying either.
So, but yeah, that's all I have for my family. If you want to introduce yours.
Pretty much I went along with the wife. Like I said, we've been together 9 years. So my wife is Amber, and then I got 2 little girls, is Ava and Mia Justice, 4 and 5 years old. Blessings, like I said, had them young, don't care, wouldn't change it for the world. I'd do it all over again, even though a lot of people say, "Oh, I wish I would have waited. I was 25. I wish I would have waited. I was 30." Yeah, that's cool and all. I understand that, but I had it and it's over with. I mean, can't take back what's already here, and I never would take it back, even if I could have. So, very blessed by that. Very, very blessed by my family and friends. You don't really have too many friends that stick around and, with you for 20 plus years, man. And this guy has, he's been through pretty much, I've been through everything with him as of right now, what he's going through. And he's through my ups and downs right now. So, we always stuck together, and, we always lived by that, man. I wouldn't even call him my friend. We're more brothers. So, it means a lot, that I have, that kind of support around me, because a lot of people don't have that, and I understand that completely. And I know a lot of people that don't have that, and that's why we're doing this podcast, kind of just to get out there and help people and give someone something to do. It's not always about being funny. You're going to have a lot of funny moments on here, but it's not always about that. We can be serious too, and that's our goal with this podcast, just have a good time, no hating, no, retardation, just having a good time, man. Yeah. So that's the plan with this, and I hope it goes and to support more and more. But to get more in detail, man, I'm gonna ask Wes another question, and I know you're 27, Wes. You did pretty much everything you can do. I can name it. He can name it. He's a Marine, 4 years. He's a firefighter. He bounced back to the Army. I mean, sitting there bragging about him. He's done everything you can do. Everything a man would want to do, he's pretty much done it. Corrections officer. I mean, everything. So, what do you see yourself, man, in the next 10 years?
I'd say in the next 10 years, so my current full-time career is I'm a regional recruiter for a security company. So I'd like to keep moving up because within that company, I've been promoted 3-4 times in the last 13, 14 months.
Right.
And I'm happy where I'm at with recruiting. So I'd like to move up with that, hopefully still be in there in the next 10 years. And then also, obviously, still in the National Guard because I want to go ahead and retire from that. That way I can have some sort of a retirement check coming in.
Right.
Whether even though it probably won't be a whole lot, but it'll be more than, what I'll get if I just don't stick it out and retire.
Right.
So those are really my goals. And then obviously for my kids to be happy, good 401k set up. That way I can retire. I want to retire when I'm 65. Like, I don't want to be one of those guys that works until they're 80, 90 years older until they die. So I want to work hard now so I don't have to later. And then,
smart.
Yeah. And then hopefully, with, my family to come home to, that'd be nice. My kids every day. So, like I said earlier, I'm going through some stuff now, but that doesn't mean that it's going to, remain like this forever.
Right.
Because you never know, could come back together down the road.
You're
which
right.
would be nice, but just right now is not the time. But within the next 10 years, I'd hope we came back together at some point.
Exactly.
Fuck.
Exactly.
If not, then obviously I'd want to be moved on with my life, continuing to accomplish my goals. And then, if someone else just happens to, sprout into my life within that 10 years, hopefully just settle down happy. House, like little house in the country, white picket fence, the whole fucking 9 yards.
As the old saying is, man, life goes on.
Yeah.
And yeah. So, what do you got for me, man?
I'd say what are your long-term goals? So not something that you can accomplish within a year or two, but within the next, I'd say 5 to 10.
So, you know me, man. I've always been a car guy. I've been around all my life. My dad been in cars for 30 years and kind of grew up around it. Kind of had my own little thing going on at one time where I was buying and reselling and stuff, and it kind of died down, which because of COVID and everything else. Not going to blame my work on COVID, but that's just everything. Everything's been dying down. It's hard to buy anything. Hell, you can't buy a candy bar less than $7. But I mean, it's just in the next 5-10 years, man. My goal, as I see it, man, is and I talk about it every day, is I want to own my own car lot, my own business, and have like my own little set thing. Because I've been working for myself since I was 15 years old. I started my story, like he said, he started in the Marines and did corrections and then went back to the Army and blah, blah, blah. My story is, man, is actually, I started in a moving company. Sorry. I started in a moving company making actually under the table. I was only 15 years old and I was only making like, I don't think $12 an hour, killing myself. But at 15 years old, I didn't care. I was living with mommy and daddy. Worked there until I was about 18, and then I went off to a medical facility where I made good money, got my forklift certified, got my profession in medical field, and then I turned around, left that because I actually moved to Kentucky where I'm at now. And then I'm not going to go actually into detail. Well, my brother's on the podcast. He might. I'm not going to do it. It's not my business, but kind of had to move back over family things. Like I said, I'm going into detail because I don't want to tear it in front of you guys. But my brother went through a lot of stuff about 2 years ago, and we had to go back to Ohio for family reasons. And now I came back here, back to Kentucky, and kind of been doing my own thing since with cars and everything. So I've been flip-flopped back and forth between moving company as a child all the way up till doing cars and everything else. And that's something that I love to do with my perfection. That's what I thrive for. A lot of people thrive for, anything, like he thrives the Army and Marines, I thrive a wrench in my hand, under a motor. That's just, that's what I love, and everybody's different, but I think in the next 10 years, that's where I see myself, my own car lot and everything, for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Man, what's your go-to in life, man? Like, what wakes you up in the morning? And I'm not talking about family. I know everybody's first is family and getting by and work. But man, like if you one in the morning, you wake up and you look at the sky like, thank you for another day. What's something that just gets you up out of that couch or out of that bed and just ready to go?
And I think for that would be, I'd say I'm a self-motivated individual. So, I like to get up at a decent time, decently early, to either get a jump start on work, to get a good pump in at the gym.
I was going to get to that next. You beat me to the point. I was going to get to that next.
Yeah, no.
As y'all can't tell, you've been at it.
Yeah, you can't tell with my legs. Motherfuckers look like chicken.
Hey, we're getting there.
Yeah, but so I think what gets me out of bed is I have certain things I want to accomplish in my life, and those things require time. And you're not promised tomorrow, you're not promised the next week. So I like to, try to live every day as if it's my last. Right. You just never know when it could be. So I like to. So motivation's what gets me up. I like to get up early, go to the gym, feel good for the rest of the day. Get some work done probably 30, 40 minutes prior, get on my first morning meeting. And by the time I get there, I have the most difficult part of my day already taken care of. So I think just a lot of self-motivation. And then also I enjoy what I do. A lot of people don't. They lay in bed miserable, like, why the fuck do I have to do this shit? Yeah. Or they sit out in the parking lot, like thinking, well, I fucking quit.
Or bitch at other people about it.
Or they bitch about their job every single day, but yet they still walk in there every day. Yeah. The shitty attitude. Me, I love recruiting. I like building connections with people, giving them an opportunity to work for our company and then seeing them advance is probably the most rewarding. And then also, I love the fucking military. I talked a lot of shit on the Army when I was in the Marines. But I had a pretty big gap in service. So I tried to put in a waiver to avoid boot camp because who the fuck wants to go to boot camp? It sucks no matter what branch you're in, unless it's the Air Force or some shit like that. But it didn't get approved in time. So they called me on a Friday and was like, yeah, you're shipping out on fucking Monday. So seriously, that's how it happened. They was like, so, pretty much figure it out. So then I went down to Fort Jackson, South Carolina. They call it Laxton Jackson. I went down there for 10 weeks in September, on September 12th, and then graduated November 23rd. So I had to go down there, do that bullshit all over again. The first couple of days kind of sucked because I haven't been in that environment or, people all in my face telling me what the fuck to do. I kind of struggled with it a little bit at first because I'm sitting there thinking, I'm 26 years old. I got my own family, who the fuck are you? But I was never I was never one of those guys that were going to be like, oh, well, if they get in my face, start yelling, I'm going to punch them in the fucking face. If you think that, if you're going in the military and you think you're hard, you're not. I promise you're a bitch. And they'll go ahead and try some stupid shit. I seen some shit on day one, or actually day 0, when we were taking a shower. Somebody wanted to get big, and drill sergeants got in their face like, "Fucking do something about it," blah blah, and he bitched out. But yeah, for that whole thing, for me, not trying to be cocky, but it wasn't really difficult because I know the expectations. I've been, I did Paris Island for 13 weeks. Right. Yeah, that in the summer. I mean, that shit ain't no joke. But I mean, the Army's not a joke either. Everything has its challenges no matter what. But that specific thing for me, at least having the discipline, waking up early, being, right place, right time, right uniform, wasn't really an issue for me. I tried to keep it up under the radar that I was prior service, but we were getting the shit smoked out of us one day. And one of my drill sergeants, she's seen my tattoo because my shirt was coming up because, in the Army, if you wear a medium, they're going to give you a fucking large and it looks like a parachute. And it just goes all over the place. Seeing the tattoo, asked if I was prior service, and I was like, yeah. I was trying to keep that under wraps, but, yeah, I am. And, that with that shit comes more expectations. you know, and then all the younger guys around me, you know, leaned on me, asked for advice, this and that. I tried to help them the best I could. I told them, I was like, look, just because I was prior sir, I'm not no better than you. I'm here having to do the same shit you do, no matter what. So yeah, those are a couple things that motivate me. My job, the Army, and just really being all I can be every single day. Because, like I said,
awesome,
I'm gonna live my life 100% day to day. So
that's awesome, man. That's always good. What do you got for me, man?
let's see. Try to think here. Tough questions. I feel like we went over a lot of them.
We have. Yeah. I mean, I can answer for you. I guess you can ask me the same thing. What motivates me, gets me out of bed. Pretty much the same thing, different scenarios. I mean, I get out of bed because I know that no one else ain't gonna do it. So, I mean, I kind of had no choice. Yeah. And second is, man, I got to keep a roof over my baby's heads and my wife and everything. And I got no reason to say and bullshit everybody. And my wife's a stay-at-home mom. She's proud of it. I'm proud of it. She cooks. She puts meals on the table. She cleans my clothes, and and that's everything to me. To me, that's more than what I go out here and make in a month. That's just I carry my part, and she carries twice as more dealing with the babies while I'm making the money to pay the bills. Yeah. So what motivates me is just getting up, making sure that I know that I'm my babies and my wife and everything will have a roof over their head for the next month or 2 months or year, whatever. And because, like I said, no one else is going to do it. I'm a very motivated guy. Been through a lot. A lot of people wouldn't think I have, but I have. Been through 3 open heart surgeries. I mean, I'm still here kicking. Been with the best of, I can keep up with the best of them. Never failed me one time. This happened when I was a baby, when I was first born, but it never failed me one time. Still played sports. Still get out here and motivate. Still fight some bitch. They'll tell you. It's never knocked me down or failed me to do anything. So I'm a very motivated guy. I'm very blessed, and I'm even still here because I wasn't supposed to be. But yeah, that's now going back to the weightlifting thing, man. So look, back when we was younger, I didn't do it with him at the time because he was actually away. I think that time he was actually in the Marines. Back when I was about 15, and my buddy Marky Vest, maybe one day I might get him on a podcast and he'll talk about it. Real good friend of mine. He got me into lifting. My whole life I was probably like 120 pounds, 130 pounds the whole life. And he got me into lifting, and I seen the difference, in a matter of 6 months. And by the year was up, I seen a big difference, and I was just hooked. So then I got my old lady, and we had a daughter on the way and everything. So I got out of it, kind of moving from state to state, got out of it. And me and my buddy Wes recently just got back into it. So, and if you guys go on our Instagram, which my Instagram is Kevin Justice 902, and his is Weston Strack. And you can go on our Instagram and actually see our lifting. We actually make a lot of lifting videos, and we actually post them a lot too. Some are funny as fuck. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I mean, he has a video where, he's stuck at this weight, he's stuck at 245.
Yeah, 245.
Okay. And, can't reach 275 yet, but we ain't gonna get into that. But, now I'm at 275. I'm trying to reach my, where I was at. I used to do 325. So I'm trying to get back up to my limit, and, he's trying to get to where I'm at now. And we kind of been pushing each other a little bit hard at it. Like tomorrow we lift about every morning. Today we took a break, not gonna lie. And started this podcast, but we're going to be we go about 6 to 7 every morning. We'll lift about 2 hours, and it's I'm gonna tell you something, guys, right now. If no one out there that don't lift, you don't have to lift. You don't have to go to gyms to get big. You don't have to go to gyms to keep yourself healthy. There's thousands and millions of other ways. Getting up and doing 20 push-ups a day to do more than what I did in 2 hours.
For sure.
I mean, you don't have to do that. Not sitting here bragging. I'm just trying to be funny. Not sitting here bragging that I did 275 deadlift. Woo! I bet you just people out there do fucking 425 deadlift. It's just, it just makes you feel good. Anybody that lifts weights or anything, man, that's into like cardio or, into that type of stuff. I'm telling you guys right now, if you guys don't do it, I would recommend it. Even yoga. And I'll tell you, I know y'all might laugh at that, dude, but yoga is actually a stress reliever. And I don't do it. I just know for a fact because I know people that do it and it's trying to get me to do it. And yoga is a stress reliever. I love lifting, and I'm glad I got back into it. I'm glad I got a buddy that, old buddy, to do it with now. So
yeah. Speaking of yoga, I've actually done that a couple times.
Yeah,
and I'm not even lying when I tell you that shit is hard as fuck. I swear, I'm not flexible whatsoever. I can't even touch my fucking toes.
But when you was done with it, was you not stressed?
I mean, in a way, but I was more stressed because I was cramping up. My damn legs hurt. I had new.
I'm gonna tell you something right now.
That shit's worse than lifting for 2 hours.
I don't do yoga. I pound out weights. The only yoga I do is in the bed. I ain't gonna get into detail about that. My wife, but I can stretch in places you don't want to know. But I'm telling you right now, man, that's about the only yoga I'm gonna do.
It's definitely difficult starting out. It's like I said, I can't touch my toes. I was trying to do some stretches.
Dude, touch your toes.
Yeah, I was doing some stretches down in Fort Jackson because we had to do it every day before we did PT.
Yeah,
man.
I know why he was in yoga classes. Don't play dumb.
Drill Sergeant Lima.
Mm-hmm. Seen them leggings, didn't you?
Yeah, came over to me. It was like, is that as far as you can fucking stretch? And I was like drills are. I haven't been able to touch my toes in like 10 fucking years. And like it's just like I had bad posture. I'm just not like I was flexible in high school because I did football.
Right.
Ran straight into indoor track after indoor track was out there. I did that for 4 years. So we did yoga.
Right.
And I was pretty flexible in that. But really, I mean, yoga more than anything now, it definitely makes me feel a little bit like less stressed about things.
Yeah.
To the point where I'm shitting my pants in the middle of the fucking class.
Shit in your pants.
They tell you to relax. I relax. Sometimes I get a little gassy. I fart a little bit. I fart probably about every 5-10 minutes. If you actually go on my Instagram, I'm that immature to where I posted some.
This man literally takes videos, and ain't no little squeak. Okay, you want to talk about farting and shit? This dude literally takes videos, like 12-second long videos of brrrr, and it's disgusting, man. I fart too. I ain't gonna lie to you. This motherfucker stank. I mean, dude, it's ridiculous, dude. But not to change the topic about farting and yoga and shit. I want you to, already know I'm going with this. Bring up the best. Okay, we're big on quads. We love riding 4-wheelers. So bring up one of them moments, Wes.
All right. So I think one of the better moments. I'll bring up a couple. The one that's not so much of like a great moment, but it was actually funny. It was I would ride on the back with him because we didn't have enough 4-wheeler.
Yeah.
So I rode bitch, pretty much. There was one day that I think we wrecked that goddamn 4-wheeler about 9 times within 30 minutes. We would go up the hill, we'd fucking slide all over. We'd do a wheelie for about 70 yards, and then all of a sudden we're in this tall grass, and my buddy Bruce, he said that he seen us 1 second doing the wheelie, and then just everything disappeared and we were gone.
And he's not lying. That's really what happened.
Yeah, no. And then there was a time when I was on the back with Bruce.
Oh my God.
We were going up this hill, and it just she wasn't budging. So we told him. Kevin told him to put it in. What was it, first?
I said go up in first. Start off in first, and as you're in the middle of the hill, shift to second. He didn't listen to anything I said.
No. He
stopped dead and then shifts.
Yeah, he smacked that motherfucker in a second, and as soon as he did it, we went completely up, fell. And this dude weighs like 300 pounds. At the time, I was like maybe 190, something like that. So his fat ass fell completely on top of me. He's freaking the fuck out, saying, "Grab the 4-wheeler." I'm like, how the fuck am I going to grab the 4-wheeler with your fat ass on top of me, bro? I was like, get the fuck off of me so I can grab this goddamn 4-wheeler. And this 4-wheeler literally stopped at a perfect 90-degree angle, just chilling.
Dude,
if that thing would have came back.
Listen, I had a 2008 250 Arctic Cat, and very nice bike. And I'm at the bottom of the hill, and I'm looking at these, and I had my buddy. Who was with me? Rob?
Probably Rob or Mason, smoking a fucking cigarette on the back.
I think it was Rob, man. And dude. I remember me and Rob was sitting it's my father-in-law, my wife's dad. He's no longer with us, but at the time he was. So we're at the bottom of the hill. We're looking, and Rob's like, let's sit back and watch it. He said that to us. He probably knew something was going to happen. So all right, let's watch him, then we'll go up next. So Bruce goes up and first, and as he says, shifts to second. And I remember looking up, because I was actually down there looking out, just out in the field. My dad owned 12 acres. And I look up, and I see this dude Weston with his hands in the air. And Bruce is saying, get the four-wheeler. Get the four-wheeler. And Weston was like, motherfucker, I can. You're on top of me. Move so I can get it. So, and then there's another moment where I told Wes, we didn't rode all day. Hop on the four-wheeler. So Wes, come on. Let's go hit the road, man. Because down here, you're allowed to ride on the roads. They don't care. Let's go hit the road, man. We wasn't on this four-wheeler 5 seconds. And I'm telling you guys right now, 5 seconds, we wasn't on this quad. We go down this hill. I hit a drift. I had a little stoop. I remember opening my eyes for 2 seconds, and I see this motherfucker flying in the air. I got long hair at the time. Now, shit you not, my hair used to be in the middle of my back. So I had long hair at the time. I had on a hat. I don't know how it managed to stay on my head, but it did. And it was just the funniest moment in the world. But, dude, we look back on that, Wes. Dude, we're lucky we'll still be here.
Yeah, sure. I remember that.
I mean,
wasn't even 2 seconds. But, shit happens.
Right.
If you're playing everything safe, stuff like that, life ain't really too fun. Me personally, if there's risk involved, I'm gonna fucking do it,
Yeah.
Like whether that's shit just going down the street, you never know, you might get fucked up. Or if people tell you to stay off the roads because it's too icy, well, that's just like me. I'm like, I'm going the fucking road anyway. Because
you gotta get that Gatorade.
Yeah, you gotta get Gatorade, gotta get fucking.
We don't drink pop, by the way. We quit popping pop. Dude, it's killing us. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah, so
it's killing us.
Every morning I just grab my Monster coffee that I drink, some Gatorade.
Kind of have to.
I mean, I can't fucking stand water, really, because that's all I drank for 10 fucking weeks. We drank water, fucking flavorless juice, chocolate milk when they had it. So, I mean, I hate water so much. Like, they gave us Camelback that we had to have on our back at all times, full of fucking water.
Damn.
And, I hated that thing so much. If any of my drill sergeants ever, watch this, Drill Sergeant Lima or Tango, I left that fucking Camelback in there. I didn't even bring the motherfucker. I said, fuck it. When I went and got my gear for the deployment that I was supposed to have coming up, they was like, yeah, we're pretty sure you probably have a Camelback. And, I was like, yeah, I kind of fucking left it because I just didn't want it. So, yeah, if you guys ever see this, my Camelback's probably still in my locker because I also left the lock on the fucking thing, too, because I was in a hurry to get out and I just forgot. But, yeah, I can't stand water.
I agree with you, man. I'm not a big water fan myself. And I've been a pop drinker all my life, and it's been the hardest thing I think I've ever had to do, because I want to do it. I've been wanting to do it for a while. I quit back then when I used to lift when I was younger. Got back drinking it again because I got out of lifting, but now I'm going to quit again because kind of ruining you go lift for 2 hours. After you get done lifting, you eat cheeseburgers and drink a Pepsi, you waste it all at. So your 2 hours is down the drain and you wasted money.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's the one that, we've been slowing down on the fast food a lot too. But it's keeping your diet right, you know what I mean? And that's the main thing we're focusing towards as we're lifting right now. But
yeah, definitely try to keep the fast food down. But I think we can both agree the amount of fucking pizza we've had this week. I mean, we got a box over there that's bigger than the hood of my fucking car.
I ain't no bullshit.
And
I ain't no bullshit.
We damn near all of it.
Well, I mean, you gotta
eat.
You gotta keep that weight up. You know what I mean?
I know I lost 30 pounds. When I left for Fort Jackson, I weighed 215. When I graduated, I was at 185. I don't know how. Must have been all that dumbass running
Oh, that shitting.
Fucking,
he shits 5 times a day.
I didn't shit there. I shit probably maybe. 15.
I shat.
I shit maybe 15 times while I was there.
This dude, okay, this is no lie. This ain't gonna turn into a clown session. This is just facts. This motherfucker right here, this dude go to Columbus. We're 2.5 hours from Columbus, and he stops 10 times. So it takes us 4 hours to get to Columbus.
I mean, so you gotta shit when you gotta shit, you know.
Nah, but all jokes aside, yeah, we've been hard at it again and everything, at the lifting and stuff.
Yeah, I
and
would try to go
at least every morning,
4 or 5 times a week.
And, it keeps you, makes you feel good too. And I'll tell you something, man. I really, I wasn't big into like cardio and stuff, but he's got me into it. So we run 15 minutes every day too.
Yeah, 15 minutes on the treadmill.
So
elliptical.
I'll tell you something right now. Don't do leg day twice. If you do leg day, wait a couple of days, do leg day again. Because if you do leg day 2 days in a row, you ain't lifting your legs up third day. I'm telling you right now, you ain't. I mean, because I'm telling you, your thigh down to your tip of your fucking toe is going to hurt you.
Yeah, for sure. And there's also like this one thing I want to start doing, after the New Year's, the whole New Year, new me bullshit. I try not to feed too much into that because you shouldn't wait until
New Year, new me.
A new year, new me for you to change your shitty habits. Yeah. I mean, I've been guilty of it. There's been times, I've been lazy as fuck. But one thing I'm gonna start doing, I'm gonna start going to bed early, about 9:30, 10 o'clock. Put the fucking phone down. Like when you go lay down, put the goddamn phone down. I did it the last couple of nights, and I went to sleep quick. Before I would lay down, I'd be scrolling on my phone. Before I know it, 3 hours went by. It's like 1 a.m. I got like 5 hours to.
Wes, I read something about that, man, and it's no lie. I'm sure a lot of people that's going to watch this know exactly what I'm talking about. Is 97% of Americans and just the world wake up and the first thing they do is grab their phone. And and 98% Americans, which is the whole world, not just talking about Americans, talking about everybody, is their mind tells them they can't go to bed without being on their phone. So that's a true fact, and it's something that really everybody should look for. Because, dude, like when we was growing up, I didn't get my first phone until I was about 10, 11 years old. And when we was growing up, we didn't have phones in our faces. We had skateboards under our feet and fists in our,
fist flying.
Exactly. And then that's what a lot of people is going to look at that and know when they watch our podcast where we're coming from. And I think a lot of older people and everything agree with us that phones killed a lot of social media and shit, man.
Yeah, it's definitely.
I mean, it's
just mess everything up.
Not gonna sit here and talk shit about it because you need it to call people and certain things, hospitals and blah 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 blah. But man, in reality, dude, give me a flip phone and a margarita, man, I'm good to go.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean,
yeah, because I've definitely been guilty of getting up, checking my phone, even if it was for work. A lot of times it would be not for work. I'd get on my phone. I'd look at fucking Facebook, right, and go through all my social media. Before I even get up, when I can just get up, take that extra 10, 15 minutes to actually, get ready, maybe get, a quick little home workout in or, shit like that. But yeah, the last few days when I go to bed, I put my phone down, face down. I don't fucking look at it. I put it on silent so I can't hear anything that's going off. And then I fall asleep right away. I wake up the next morning early, get up, take a piss, drink some water.
Yep. He can tell you, man. Honestly, truthfully, how often do you see me on my phone?
Not that often.
I'm not a big. I mean, dude, this to me. All right, pretend this is your phone. That to me, man, is not satisfying. I mean, I'm sorry, it's not.
You can waste a lot of time.
And it's just not satisfying. And don't get me wrong, I do it. I'm not saying I don't scroll down Facebook or I don't, check my Instagram or I don't go down Snapchat. Yeah, everyone does it, but it's not something that I want to do for 6-7 hours.
Yeah, no, screen time is definitely can be an issue. I mean, there's some days where I scroll on my phone more than others. just depends. I mean, obviously I need to work on it. But I've been having a lot of stuff going on, so I'm just trying to keep my mind preoccupied when I'm not doing anything.
I'm gonna ask you something, Wes. It's gonna get a little bit into detail. And I hope not everybody looking at our podcast. You can make your comments, like I said in the previous video, which is on our YouTube channel, Down in the Holler. You'll see me and Wes on there, or you'll be able to check us out on Spotify here real soon.
Yeah, but speaking of that, I actually got a notification that our first episode has been approved and is available on Spotify right now. So later on my on Instagram, I'll go ahead and post that link.
So like I said, Down in the Holler, and that's Down in the Holler. It's all together. It ain't no special capitalizations or nothing, just Down in the Holler. And you'll be able to check us out on YouTube, Spotify, Instagram. And here real soon, not right now, you'll probably be looking at like Facebook. We're going to look towards the Facebook here real soon. Not anytime soon. We're trying to get more like on the, like the bigger social media platforms for, and as we get bigger, we will start Facebook. Not saying Facebook's not a big platform. It's just we got stuff going through Anchor right now. And is this Riverside?
Yeah,
Riverside.
Videos.
And YouTube. And we don't want to screw that up right now. And so as we farther progress with this, which we're going to, it's gives us something to do and gives other audience something to do. And we love talking about old times and stuff. And we figured we might as well share it with you guys. And this is by all means, and I'm going to say this from the bottom of my heart, we're not doing this for money. We're not doing this for fame. We're not doing it for none of that. Because there's two things I don't need. Is I don't need fame and I don't need your money. We're doing it just for fun, everything like support. I'd rather you comment 1,000 times and send me $5 on PayPal or Cash App. If you want to know the truth. I want to see your support what we can and can't do better, or dude, if you want to make fun of us, go ahead, man. And dude, I would physically, whatever, like if you ask us something that you want us to, like you want to ask us something, but don't want to show your face on here on a live stream, ask us through our Instagram. My Instagram is Kevin Justice 902. This is Wes and Strack all together. Ask us through our Instagram, man. Hit us up. Be like, hey, I seen your podcast. Hey, man, let me ask you this. Let me ask you that. We'll answer your questions, man.
Yeah,
whether it's
ask us anything.
Anything, man.
If you want any advice on anything or just like certain topics that you want us to bring up. We also post it on YouTube. You put it in the comments.
Yes.
We'll read all of them. Or you can just send it to our Instagram. But we want this thing to grow. That way, the more it grows, the more we'll be able to improve the channel, like getting new equipment, just pretty much better the experience. Because we have a lot of goals that we want to achieve, and we want to make this as entertaining as possible instead of like when people usually start out with some dry ass videos, just with what you got, and then once they progress, then the channel, a lot of people like the way things look.
Exactly, and we're not going towards like here real soon. Actually, it's going to match this. This is a Atrix 1000 mic, and I actually have the camera to match it. So here real soon, don't be thinking we're in Hawaii or something. It's probably a background, So we're gonna have backgrounds real soon and stuff, and just little stuff like that. We're just getting started, and we're taking our personal money and doing this. It ain't no giveaways or anything. So it's going to get a lot bigger. And like I told him, Wes, if we don't get no viewers, no comments, no subscribers, I don't care. We'll still be here talking about the same shit or different shit every day with you guys.
Yeah.
So, but as I was going, like I said, don't want to offend nobody. But how does everybody feel? And this goes out to everybody. How does everybody feel about Joe Biden? Good, Wes.
We'll have to cut this part out because I'm not allowed to have that opinion.
Really?
Yeah, because I'm in the army.
Oh, okay.
I talk shit, you kicked out. So we'll just cut this part out.
Okay. I'm glad that will cut it out. You mean at least about the gas prices?
Yeah, I can't say nothing, bro.
I get it.
I can't say anything. For my fucking pen, piece of shit. That's just my life so far. Can't even have a fucking pen. But yeah, so I think on our next podcast we'll we'll try to hit on some other things like personally about us. That way you guys
Yeah.
know who's talking to you. And then once we start getting questions coming in, like it can be anything. I don't care what it is. It can be about, if you don't know what the fucking birds and the bees are, I'll sit on here. I'll do a damn PowerPoint on, what fucking is.
And what we're going to have too is we're actually on New Year's. Go ahead and tune in because me and him is going to be doing shots. And
Jack Daniel.
You know what? Every viewer we get and every comment we get, we'll take a shot. So if there's 10 comments and 10 viewers, that's 20 shots.
Yeah.
And we'll do it.
Yeah,
I'll line it up right here in front of you guys in front of this camera and take them one by. Now, it won't be like one after another. You have to give us a little break. But we're going to take a couple shots for New Year's on here. And
then we'll do the rest
talk.
of the podcast drunk as fuck.
Yeah, we're going to be drunk as fuck. And you guys are more welcome to drink with us. And, bottoms up. Tonight is bottoms up.
Or if you guys want to join in on our because when we do this now, we can actually invite people and they can see it live,
right?
And then we can all just take a couple shots together, just enjoy the new year, just be thankful that you made it another year.
Yeah, you should,
especially with how the world's going now. You just never know.
No, you don't.
So yeah, that's what we'll do on New Year's, and then I think that'll probably be our next time we post something, right, on New Year's.
New Year's, we're gonna do one, we'll do one tomorrow. We'll do one probably afternoonish. We're working on right now. I got a desk and working on right now getting a little set up and stuff. As of right now, we're setting on kitchen table chairs. I don't need to lie.
Yeah.
We're just getting started. We actually got some computer chairs now and some nice, comfortable chairs we're going to set on. So we'll be able to talk a little more. Like, my ass is killing me right now, y'all. I ain't going to lie to y'all. But we'll be able to talk a little more, do longer streams and stuff. And, we're definitely tomorrow. And tomorrow's day's 31st. So,
well, sure. Well, technically, we'll post another one today. We've been sitting here doing this for like 3 hours.
Yeah. So technically, it'll be today. Probably noonish, and then we gonna break out the jack today or tomorrow?
It don't matter to me. It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
I mean, because you gotta think 12 o'clock New Year's.
Yeah.
So you know what? We'll just break out the jack today, and we're gonna start about 11:30. Or is that too late? 10:30.
Yeah, 10:30.
10:30.
To me, it's
and this is what we'll do. We'll instantly get on here, and as soon as before we start talking, we'll take a shot.
Yeah, we'll start it out now because it's always shot 30.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, it's 5 o'clock somewhere. It don't matter. It's fucking 8 o'clock in the morning. Not saying that you need to be drinking at 8 o'clock in the morning.
No, by any means. We're not drinkers, man.
Yeah, no, I drink maybe like every 6 months.
I'll be honest with you, if we didn't start this podcast stuff, man, we probably wouldn't be drinking on New Year's.
Yeah, no.
We're just doing it just for fun and good old buddies just having a good old glass.
Yeah, we'll go over some drunk stories tomorrow.
Oh, my God. Please tune in.
Yeah.
Please. Because all the drunk stories?
I mean, we go over all of them.
All of them.
Most of them. But I mean, we can fit them all in there.
Okay.
I don't have anything to do tomorrow. So
okay. Because let me tell you something. You guys are going to be in a world awakening on the stories that we have. I'm not going to get into detail right now. I'm going to make you wait.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be in a world awakening about these stories. It's going to blow your mind.
And if you guys want to, once this video gets posted on YouTube, you can comment some of your crazy drunk stories.
Yeah,
or you can just send us a message through YouTube or comment it. I'll make sure I print everything off and then I'll look at it and we'll read people's stories off and if you do, I want to know some crazy shit.
Yeah, please.
I don't want to know like I took 15 shots and I threw up. I want to know like
right
some shit you should.
I'm telling you right now, when you hear us story, we're probably going to top the cake of stories, man.
Yeah,
because we got some shit that's going to blow your mind.
We can probably make like 10, 15 episodes of dumb shit that we've done, especially down here in Kentucky. We used to party every Saturday. And
please comment. Comment, like, even if it's like not about you, if you don't want to give out your personal stories or nothing, even if it's like something that you want to ask us or tell us or want us to say on our podcast, like Kevin, tell me a funny moment or funny drunk story. I'll tell you, or Wes, or vice versa. Just tell us. You know what I mean? Just give us something.
Yeah, we'll read it all out.
Yeah,
and then we'll give our.
And if you don't want your name involved, like
we ain't gonna say it.
No, like if you say I say this but don't say my name, I won't say your name. You know, it's just something we're doing for fun for everybody. You know, and at this time of crisis that everybody lost their lives over this COVID-19 bullshit. I've actually caught it twice. My wife's got it twice. My mom actually almost died over it. So it's killed a lot of people, and it's sad, and it's still around. So I pray for everybody out there to stay safe and just try to keep your distance as much as possible. I know that's hard to do, especially with everything going on. You don't want to be cooped up in a house. Me and him never in the house. You know, if he ain't at work and I'm not busy, we're out and about doing something, whether it's lifting weights or going to Walmart talking shit. I mean, we're out doing something, man. So just please keep your distance and try everything like that. And that's why we're like, go back to why we're doing this podcast and just help you guys tune in and get to know us a lot better and support us and stuff. So I would greatly appreciate it.
Yeah. All right. So I think that's all we got for now. And then we'll post another video tomorrow with, whatever.
And as you guys can see, we're not just doing this off the head. We got serious questions we're asking each other and stuff. So it's just getting going. And tune in tomorrow, please. I promise you. You won't regret it. Thank you, guys.